Welcome, everyone. My name is Rob Pickering, founder and CEO of No Card Guys. In this call, we are going to be doing some training. Please make sure that all of your mics are shut down during this training. In this training, we're going to be going through a little bit of some of the features of actual No Card and some of that functionality. This really isn't designed so much for a sales call. This is really for training for you brand consultants, especially those folks that are getting ready to hit the ground running ASAP and starting to sell our auto specific no card, what we call the no card smart link. Guys, just so you guys understand, when we're positioning, the product is going to be called that no card smart link system. Okay. So when we're talking to people, that's really what the program actually is. What you guys are seeing right here is you guys are seeing our website, and you're also seeing an auto specific no card off to my left over here. I want to jump right into a couple things that I want to cover. I want to start talking a little bit about the smart links, and I want you guys to understand how the system works. We're going to talk a little bit about not all of the features tonight, but we're going to talk about a lot of the features where it's highly beneficial for the dealership to pull forward and start. We're going to talk about merchant accounts. I want to talk to you guys about that. We also want to talk to you guys about the agreements that people will be signing, and also some of the sales tools that we are working on behind the scenes also. So guys, let's jump right into it. So again, we're on the No Card 360 website. One thing that we were working on, guys, if you guys go to No Card, and I'm going to type in nocardauto.com, okay? This is going to be a quick, easy way, and I think it is now redirecting now directly onto our auto page. So for example, if you guys are talking to anybody, you guys can always send them directly to nocardauto.com. That's KNOCARD auto.com, and it's going to drive them directly to this page as opposed to taking them directly through nocard.com and then navigating through industries and then navigating through that auto specific vertical. So just go to nocardauto.com and you're going to land right here. Okay. Next thing I want to make sure that everyone understands is the actual features of the actual no card. I don't know if you guys have watched some of these videos. I'm hoping that you guys did. But this page is really good because I'm not saying that it has to be a presentation page, but I like the feature page on this. And the main reason that I do is because it does go through the actual features of no card. And it's also nice for a visual for a prospect to see. Now, you guys can clearly see my screen here. And one thing I wanted to do is a couple of you guys have commented on the web app, okay? One thing I can tell you is that I have an iPad. I have an iPad 11 Pro. This is the newest M4 that Apple makes. And this allows me to put my app directly on my iPad. And it also gives me the ability to split screen. So if you guys go to the App Store and you guys get the no card, you guys can see it at the bottom of my tray right here. It's important that you guys know that basically it looks like this when you guys first bring it on, okay? So I think I heard someone ask me a question of, it doesn't look like it's iPad optimized. It actually is, it's not sized that way. So what we do is you just slowly pull up this little drawer at the bottom if you have an iPad. You're gonna take Safari with your finger, you're gonna drag it, and you see how it automatically does that? It puts a window in there, and what I can do is I can condense it down into the mobile view. The beautiful thing about this is going to give me full accessibility on my app so I can demo the app, and it's going to give me a presentation tool on the right. I'm a huge believer in presentation tools, especially folks when we're out there putting these in customers' hands. I think it's going to be super important to make sure that we have professional tools like this. So please make sure that you guys have an iPad type of atmosphere. I believe you guys can do these on Androids also. I don't think it's like an Apple thing. Matter of fact, I think Android's even a little bit more advanced, to be honest with you, than Apple is. But this is what I use. All of my products are Apple, so they all interchange. So this is what I'm using here. Let's start first talking about No Card Smart Links. The very first thing that people need to understand is the power of this smart link. What is this smart link? Why do we call it smart link? What is the benefit? You have to understand a dealership doesn't know anything about No Card, and they don't know anything about the Smart Link. The reason that we wanted to tie it together with Smart Link is because Smart Link is that center product, that initial product that connects to the prospect, drives in the data, and is also helps export all the data. That Smart Link is tracking everything from a salesperson's position, and it's going to drive it directly into the dealer's, what we call that owner's dashboard, which we're going to get into. Okay, I don't know if we're going to get into it tonight. Kathy's going to have to give me a password in there, so I can kind of show you what the back end looks like for the owner. Okay, I'll actually log into the owner's dash because I do want them to see what an owner would look at, what they're actually seeing. So if you can actually just text me that, that'd be perfect. But let's talk about the Smart Link. So over here on the left-hand side, we just have a little mock-up here. We obviously have goals that are set. Over here on the top here, if I click on the three little dots up here, I can click on my goals and I can even edit the goals. So if I wanted to just take the goals off, I can slide that. You see where it says display goals? I can slide that right there, turn that off, and I can hit save. Okay. And when I do that, my goals will disappear. Okay. My media file disappears. And this is actually the main No Card of what basically all of your sales reps will have. So it's nice because we're going to be able to, taking it from the top, we have our burger menu here. That's our slide out right there, right? There's our burger menu at the top. We have our search bar, and we also have group messaging. So group messaging, in-app messaging, right now we don't have anything tied. This automatically under the groups, just to let you guys know, you see that little group button at the very top right? If I click on, that's a preset group. So anyone that joins Lexus of Hillsboro, for example, would be part of this group. So obviously as a salesperson is using it, they're going to have individual messages and they're also going to have group messages here. Now, the one thing I want everyone to understand about group messages, which is super important, is that on the enterprise platform, when I go into groups, I can actually send messages and you can actually interact back and forth. Okay. Super important that everyone understands this. In group messaging, so hear me clear. In group messaging, we have two platforms. We have the No Card platform. We have the enterprise platform. Okay. On the No Card platform, that's the platform. If you go to nocard.com and someone gets the $10 product, the $35 product, the $79 or the $99, they are sitting outside of enterprise. Okay. So we have certain restrictions for enterprise and certain restrictions for No Card. The average No Card user can sign up into a group, but when they are corresponding, the group cannot see, the owner cannot see, and just in short, them responding is non-existent. You can respond on a one-off basis back and forth, but to a group, it's not going to allow you to respond, nor obviously will anybody be able to see you. On enterprise, on our enterprise platform, when we have employees that are part of a dealership, they're all going to be able to interact and they're all going to be able to see each other's posts. Okay. So without belaboring on, that's how the group messaging does work. Okay. But the Smart Links, it's super important that we all understand on the Smart Links of why we want to start here. Guys, this is an amazing product because number one, obviously nobody has something like this, but we love it because this is your connection point. These people don't need a separate tool. The salespeople can just use their cell phones. It's plugged into our app and it controls everything. Why is this important? Because this is going to be the first line of defense when a salesperson is out there on the car lot and they are sharing. The general manager who we're talking to needs to understand the power of this Smart Link and all the different things that it does. We're going to jump into a lot of those on a presentation. I'm going to show you guys a presentation potentially on Thursday. And that presentation is going to be super powerful. I talked to Brett a little bit about it, and Peter, when I was talking with Peter the other day, we're really excited that Peter's on board. But it's very powerful to make sure that we understand how the Smart Link works and make sure that the general manager understands everything that it does. In our presentation, we'll get a little bit more in depth in that, but here's just some highlights. If I go to if I go to, and I'm just going to show you mine. I'm just going to open up All About Rob real fast, just so you guys can see mine, just so I can blast through. Actually, let me see if I can even do this. I could probably even show you, keep it here. If you guys open up this little slide out right here, up on the top, that little slide out, and I hit the arrow, you see that little globe at the top right-hand corner of my note card up here? This actually will take me directly into my note card. And this is the web version of the note card. So the cool thing about this is you have a little banner at the top, you have the person's name, you do have Google reviews, which we're going to talk about. But the powerful thing about it is this is going to show a customer. So I'm showing you right now what a customer would actually see when a smart link is actually shared. So it's important that we let the dealership know, hey, listen, we can customize this any way that you want. If you want to put some pictures of some photos right there in your media gallery, if there's anything that they want to share, a lot of car dealerships actually have their own promotional type of infomercials and things like that. We can always load those in there. Maybe they have different promotions that are going. So you guys can clearly see here, like on our social post right here, low financing rates starting at 199. So anything like this promotional, they can consistently load. And again, this is all stuff that the customer is actually going to see when a smart link is actually shared. So please understand, it's not the end of the world for us, because we're not doing inventory control, if that makes sense. The most important thing for us is gathering the customer's information and to create the lead. That's going to be our top priority of first name, last name, phone number, things like that. But I just want to show you that's what that is actually showing there. Okay, let's go back in here. But let's go back into the share. So if I click on the share right here, it's super important that this is the main button that the reps are going to use. So if they hit that little smiley face right at the bottom on the left-hand side there, if I hit the smiley face, your share opens up. So let's just briefly go through these. Number one, traditionally, they're not going to use the no card unless that person knows them. So you have to understand that this is connected into the App Store, into their contacts of their phone. So please understand that if I hit share no card, it's automatically going to be syncing and it's going to go into my contacts on my physical phone. Okay. But because that prospect is brand new that they just met, they're always going to go into new prospect. Now watch, when I click on new prospect, this is the actual form itself here. But the prospect form, you can have first name, last name, phone number, email. And so Kathy, this right here, so everyone can still hear you, this right here, so we're clear, this is customizable on the owner's dashboard, correct? Is that where we customize it, or are we going to customize it at corporate, the form itself here?
And your contact form, that's through corporate.
Okay. So guys, just so you guys understand, when we set this account up, one thing that corporate's going to do is we're going to set up all the users, which we'll talk about, all of that stuff. We'll do that on another call. But the other customization piece is this form right here. This form is super powerful because this is the form where we can say, hey, we want first name, last name, phone number. We want their email. We at least want it as a field there, right? We don't really care so much about occupation and where I met you. Where it's going to come into power is, are you looking for a used car? Are you looking for a new car? And again, maybe that dealership has 3 different brands, GMC, Toyota, and BMW. And then they're going to identify what brand they're looking for, and then they can hit add. The minute they hit add right here, that's obviously going to drop into your pipeline. So let's just go back here. Folks, if you click on your pipeline right here, and again, this is a little demo here. Okay, so just hang with me. That person is going to land right there in your pipeline. Okay. And we'll come back to the pipeline, but I just want you to understand what's going to happen of where that goes. New prospect is probably going to be the most important field that a salesperson is going to use. And we'll go through a couple different things. I want to show you some of the other features on the actual pipeline that they will use all the time, but it's super, super important that the very first thing they do is they add it in a new prospect. The next thing that I believe that they're going to use a ton of is this finance application. So guys, super simple. How do we do it? We just click on finance application. Okay. Now, I want you to understand, in order to send a finance application, they still have to be added in as a new prospect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them in as a new prospect first, because I met them out on the street. I add them. Then when I go into finance, I'm actually sharing it with a no card contact. Super important. Okay. You're traditionally not just going to talk to someone and share them as a new contact at that point. You could, but it would be odd to skip the process of viewing the car, test driving the car, all of that stuff, and going right to application stage. If they had a weird situation where someone just called and said, "Hey, I need the application," that's the button that they would hit right here. And it would take them back to the form so we can add them into our pipeline. But if they're already in our pipeline, which they should be, all you have to do is hit share with no card contact, and all of those people are going to be in their pipeline. So just imagine a sales rep, even after 6 or 8 months, they're going to have a lot of contacts in here because every single person that they add in here is landing in their actual pipeline, actually adding into their contacts of their phone, which is super important.
Hey, Rob.
Go ahead.
And to share finance application, one of the options is share with a new contact. So you don't actually have to add them as a new prospect first and then select share finance application. You can just go.
That's what I just said.
Share. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said it's highly unusual that you wouldn't. Every once in a while, if you maybe took an inbound call, I said if they needed to, they could do that, but it's going to be very unusual where someone hasn't taken a test drive or already done something for them to automatically create the prospect at that stage, is what I'm saying. They could,
Gotcha.
but it's going to be unusual. They're traditionally going to see them first as a new prospect and then add as a no card contact because they're already in the system.
Gotcha.
The next thing that's really cool is referral. Okay. One thing that we're going to definitely want to promote to our salespeople, and we're going to talk up to the dealership. Salespeople, when they're brand new, they know a lot of people. Okay. They know a lot of people and they can also get referred. So if their friends had a no card, like we could use our referral system. It's not going to be heavily used on the enterprise platform because traditionally your customers don't have it. Okay. But what I want to just park here on the referrals piece is what we want to do is get the salesperson to share no cards with people that they know. Okay. So I don't want to confuse anything. This referral button here is if I wanted to refer, let's just say my buddy Alan to my friend Kathy. I could go right in, I could type in Alan, I could share him to Kathy, and boom, the referral is sent. That's how our ecosystem works on no card. It is super important that you guys understand that this training is really more specific on no card enterprise, okay? A no card enterprise, not on the no card system, because you have to remember on the no card system, we have share no card right at the top, right? That's how we share. If I click here, right at the top here, you see that get no card, that is a full trackable link, right? Am I part of a group? You guys can see it on my screen here. I'm not part of a group. I hit next. It's going to immediately go into pricing right here of the regular no card, okay? I could search anyone out in the community directly on this referral and I can send a referral, but that's on the no card. Down the road, it's not going to make a lot of sense on the referral. So I don't want to confuse things, but please understand what I'm saying is we want to expose, when you have a product like this, you want to get the general manager's mind moving of, does this person know anybody else? Because that's a lot of opportunity of that salesperson. Maybe they know 30 other friends and family that could use a car, right? Are we missing opportunity because we don't have tools like this? Are we just telling our people to go out there and just give them business cards? Because that's how they're doing it. And guess what? They're not getting any inbound business. So now a rep can actually get on the phone with his aunt, send his aunt the no card, and actually start having trackability pipeline and start drawing his aunt back in. We'll talk a little bit more about that strategy later, but always remember any value that we can add the dealership to bring in more sales, right? More sales is beneficial, okay? So again, referral, that's how we would use that. We would encourage the sales rep to use the no card if they're out and about. And again, you would have to add them in traditionally as a new prospect. If it's a family member or something like that, then obviously they're already in their no card. Aunt Sue is already in his no card. And if they are, all I would do is I would hit no card right here, and I would go ahead and share with that prospect directly from there. The nice thing about it is all that stuff is obviously tracking, okay? The next button I want to talk to you guys about is the share media. Now, the share media to me is super important because any media files that the dealership preloads, we've spent a lot of time giving full access to that dealership so they can load all that. So what I want to do is just understand that sharing media is going to be really important. Let's just say if I shared this media right here of this Cadillac Escalade, the beautiful thing is all I have to do is I can hit share media, and then we're going to have custom forms in there. We'll go through that specific feature on another training. Please make sure you guys are paying attention to the feature training. We'll talk about some other tools that we're going to be adding this week. Kathy's working diligently behind the scenes, loading up some videos, and then I'm doing some audios and things like that, so you guys understand psychology of all these little features. But guys, this is super easy. I'm more belabored when I'm talking to you because I want you guys to know everything about it, but it's super easy. All we're going to do is I'm going to click here. This is how easy is it to share. I hit this. Let's just say if I wanted this after viewing, do you think this product would benefit you? You could see yes or not at this time. Next, I want to share it with my contact. I share it. I could go right in. I could hit my buddy Alan. I could hit this, and voila, it's gone, just like that. Okay. The beautiful thing that I love about it is how fast and easy it is. Okay. It's super fast. It's super easy, and it's very intuitive. Now, the beautiful thing, just to let you guys know, if I went over here, okay, just so you guys can see my no card here, I can actually go into Alan, and this is the message here, right? Hey, Alan, take a look at this vehicle. He's going to go ahead and he's going to click. I think I actually clicked on the image right there. So there's the image that we just shared, right? Everything is perfect. And watch this. I go boom. After viewing this vehicle, so this is media 2. So real quick, guys, you guys see up in the top right-hand corner, 1 of 2 means there's 2 files here. Who was it sent by? Mark. I even have the ability to check out Mark's no card at the very top. You see that view button? If I click there, it's going to go to Mark's no card. Okay. So here's the vehicle. Wow, this truck's cool. Hey, after being, you like this truck. So let's just say if it was specific to auto right here, I could say yes, submit. Now check this out. Thanks for your interest. Do you want to book a call to chat? And again, we can customize that to more or less take that to maybe even the phone call. We can even potentially change that. Something very easily in programming. Here, call me, let's talk. Or get started. We can always alter this a little bit because there's not so much of getting started on the enterprise platform. Okay. But I want you guys to understand that that's how easy a form actually is. A lot of times people just want to get you on the phone. So maybe we want to do a book a call. Maybe we want to just call them direct. Maybe we just get rid of the fast track altogether with this. And you also have the ability to do that. So over on the left-hand side here, do you see where it says display the getting started link? If I take this off, Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong. If I take that off, it doesn't even, this whole thing doesn't come up. Does the book a call come up?
That's a good question, but I think not, because the book of call does not come up until the other screen has already been clicked through.
So one thing you guys can do is just to get that, take a fast track, get started. So traditionally a dealership wouldn't use that. So we would always have that button traditionally off. And then that whole statement right there, take the fast track, that really wouldn't even be there. But guys, just want to see how powerful this is. If I wanted to view this guy's no card, and go ahead over on the right-hand screen there, if I hit view, see where it says 2 of 2, if I hit view, now I can go right into his no card, and guess what? No card is tracking in real time of everything that is going on the no card. So if I went into a social post, everything is being tracked off of that. So we're going to come back because I see Google reviews, which I wanted to touch on. So that's how that piece works. The share media, it's going to be super powerful. It's also highly tracked. Okay. Request a review. Guys, this is going to be a really important thing on No Card Enterprise on the dealerships, because sales reps, when they sell vehicles, dealerships want Google reviews. This is why we added this API directly into the actual No Card, so we can get reviews. Okay. So let's just say I sold a car to Kathy. I can go just like this. That I want to share it. I want to share it with the no card contact. I'm going to type in Kathy. See how fast I'm doing this. There's Kathy Jodry. There's her phone number. Voila, it's sent. Google review has literally just been launched. Now here's what's killer, guys. With that Google review right there, that's super powerful, because as soon as that review is launched, it takes a few minutes, I believe, with Google. It's not instantaneous. That's a Google thing running through their reviews on that. But the nice thing about it is you see this down here, that testimonial right there actually came directly from Google reviews. powerful that we were able to not only send, which most companies are trying to get people to do the reviews, the sales reps have the ability to send that link. Guys, I know it sounds small, but it's actually really super big. Please make sure that you guys understand that is a huge benefit. We're going to put that in our pitch to the dealership because the dealerships are going to love it because they're always trying to get Google reviews. They don't really have a good way to do that. Now, every single sales rep, just imagine, can you imagine them selling 300 cars, 250 cars? What if we could get 50% of those people to leave us a Google review? What if we could even get a higher percentage of that? That's going to be super massive to get that. So just understand Google reviews is super powerful. The other thing is this scan business card right here. We'll talk more about this function as we go through this. Scan business card is super powerful. It's part of our smart link. And more importantly, it's a trackable field. So management can see all of that new activity. So if someone did scan, so let's just say a guy, maybe a sales rep met someone out on the street and the guy gave him a business card. Okay. He could very easily scan that business card, very simple, and it drops into as a new prospect just as I were to manually load it. The cool thing about it too is if I go up into my contacts over on my little slide out, I could actually click. You see here, it says edit right here, okay? And this is just a demo here. But if this person actually had a scanned business card, there's a option there that says view business card, view scanned image. I could click on it and the actual picture that I took would also appear there too. So scanned business card, guys, super powerful. We'll talk more about that. But before I move on, does anyone have any questions on here? I want to open up the line just for a moment here. Any questions?
Bob, on the enterprise part, instead of saying get no card, should we make that something else so that it doesn't go to, we're promoting the get no card right now?
It's something that we're going to talk to technology about because in reality, what we wanted to do is basically put where we could just download our information to their contacts. Brett, just to let you know, we already have the graphics for it at the top. Instead of someone downloading, because obviously someone's not going to download the no card, but car dealerships no card. And there's no compensation that is paid to any of these salespeople, which is a valuable concern. What we would end up doing is we have a button that it says download my contact. So we would actually take that your contact, your no card contact, and actually drop it into their contacts of their physical phone. We actually have graphics that actually do that. So at least when I give it to someone at a car, they can actually take my contact. So it's not just a lost text message and it actually drops it in. Now, I don't want to get onto it with this call, but we have a lot of value with doing that because we meta tag and we do some really cool stuff behind the scenes. So if someone wanted to search us up in their contacts, they can actually do that. And we're also programming, let's just say Brett Carey is downloaded in their phone. And let's just say they searched you up from their phone by meta tags that we automatically tag in here. It's nice too, because Brett, they'd also be able to get directly back to your no card from that contact. So that's something that we put in the notes, and there's a section that we can add certain things. So it's not like the most valuable thing, but it's better than not getting a no card. And on top of that, it will download into their contacts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a total sense. And I love the split screen on the iPad. That's going to be easy way to walk a GM. Here's what it is, here's what it isn't. And
yep,
absolutely. Can't get them confused buyers, confused clients aren't going to buy.
Yep. So it's very powerful. And Brett, here's the other cool thing is you could actually turn it into you could actually split it into 3 if you really wanted to, even if you had a presentation. But I like doing this because I can fly. The other thing is you can have multiple. So if I just come up here, I can do multiple screens. You can open up another one even if you're doing your presentation. Because let's dive into the presentation. I just wanted to hit on the smart link. I want to talk about right now what's coming up. First of all, I want you guys to understand Kathy Jodery, just so you guys understand, has been head down on some videos, and some of these videos are just functionality. Okay. I want you guys, and hopefully you guys look at this training and go, Rob, this is like super easy, right? Of course it's super easy. We need it. We need you to say it's super easy right now. If you guys are looking at this going, oh my gosh, how do I share? So here's the smiley. How do I share? There it is. Add, send. Brett, is that pretty simple? Okay. Because here's the thing, I want you guys to look at me and say, Rob, come on, we got to move on. Let's move on to the next thing. No, I want you to understand how easy the UI and the UX is, because if this is confusing to the dealership, if they don't think that this can be transposed to their salespeople, we are dead in the water. And that's why the no card has been constructed the way it is, for simplicity. Okay. But with saying that, we have about 35 different little features and functions that I want to show you. And some of them are stupid, like Face ID. How do you log in? How do you, little things that you guys need to know, all the little nuances about the no card, because you are the business consultants. You guys are the brand consultants, and you guys are the experts here. Amen. And that's who you guys are. And you guys need to know all those little tiny things. Hey, Rob, how do I change a topic? How do I add a topic? You don't want to get caught up in those little things, because we get stuck. Hey, Alan, how do I change my Google? How do I add Google reviews? Really simple. You just go ahead and click up on the slide out. We're gonna go right down into settings here, and there it is right there. Google profile, Google setup. If I don't want that, check this out. Watch. If I just go, I don't want that. I think if I can do it right now, if I hit save, I don't think I have to log out, do I, Kathy? And there it is right there.
So.
And see how it goes back to request a review. Now check this out, just really fast, since we're on it. If you don't have it, watch this. I'm going to send this to Brett. So I'm going to go share with no card contact. I don't think Brett's in here on this one. But let's just see if he is. There you are, Brett. Right here. Look at the speed on this thing. Boom. Sent. Okay. Now here's what's awesome. Check this out. This is what it looks like on our side. This is what the no card review system looks like. And this is super powerful. Watch. I'm going to go. And I clicked on the wrong one. Go back into my text here. Oh, I did click on the wrong. Hold on 1 second. Click. Okay, so check this out. So look at this form, guys. It automatically pre-populates Brett's information, because I put them all under one. It should be broken up into first and second. Phone number, I can put his email, but check this out. I can even rate, which I don't want to do right now because this is all live. Okay. I can rate. The powerful thing is I can even put a 5-star. Would you recommend as a friend? And I could say, let's just say, great job, will refer others, whatever, right? This is just demo. This is our demo. Okay, that's it. So check this out. I agree that my review will be published on the No Card web app and website. See that? Check mark. So guys, look at how powerful this is. Customer fills this fun form out and hits submit. Boom, submit. On my iPad, submit. I'm not
Rob,
sure
could you have that check mark pre-checked with them uncheck if they don't want to do it?
it is actually unchecked. So
can you leave it checked so they have to uncheck if they don't want to do it?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's basically just getting their consent that they're okay with that review being shared on the actual no card. Kathy, my little button, I don't know if it's my iPad. Let's just see if it shows up here. Let's see if I can do this here. Let's just go to the web app and let's just see if that shows up there. Yeah, Kathy, check that button, Kathy, on that for some reason on my side.
Did you submit it?
Yeah, that's what I just showed you. For some reason, I'm clicking on it.
It could just be a time delay.
Because I'm online, you're saying?
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, that's how it works. You're going to find, honestly, I mean, we did this, but I really, truly love Google reviews. And I want you guys to position Google reviews because dealerships love the Google reviews. Matter of fact, you'll actually see it like on their counter. They're using QR codes to get people to do it. Position Google reviews. It's a huge benefit to that. Okay. So moving on, we'll come back to the no card. But one thing I want you guys to understand, I want you guys to talk, I want to show you something really fast here. Let me go into my files. So we're going to start talking about different sales tools you guys are going to use. Obviously, this isn't a sales tool. This is going to be the actual agreement. Okay. But let me show you this. Where is my updated agreement? I'm not sure if that's, yeah, here's the updated agreement. Okay. So just in short, and guys, I can definitely send you guys this agreement. I want you guys to go through it and get familiar with it. But this is our enterprise subscription agreement. One thing that I did is I actually had a conversation with Brett and Peter Guys, I did speak to our merchant guy today. We're going to talk a little bit about the merchant account right now, but the powerful thing about it is our merchant guys can even set up ACH for us. Okay. So we don't even have to mess around with that. They fill out a form, and the same merchant processor that handles our Visa and MasterCard is actually going to handle all of our ACH. Our guys are behind the scenes. I have another call with these guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. But here's the deal. Everything I'm showing you here, just so you guys understand, every single person on this call, you guys, there's a subscription behind it, which we'll talk about that here in a second also. It's for tools like these. You guys will all have like Zoho or DocuSign, your own DocuSign account attached to ours. Everything here, you're not going to really be manually typing anything in. It's all going to be there. You're going to actually have 4 different subscription levels here. Number 1, the $1,000. Number 2, the $1,200. The difference is basically $1,200 with no contract, $1,000 for 6 months if they pay up front. Okay. The nice thing about that, think about it, they're saving 2 times 6, they're saving another $1,200. They're actually getting more than 1 month for free. So we talked about that. That's awesome. So that's 2 products right there. So if you come into your DocuSign, which will show you, you're going to be able to choose the $1,000 or the $1,200. Same thing with the $1,500 6-month agreement or the $1,800. So just be aware of that. And guys, I'm just finalizing this. We're just combing through this, but you guys will all get a copy of this so you guys understand what's here. So number 1, purpose of the agreement, okay, of what that agreement's all about. Services provided by NoCard, super important. Master account setup, full account setup, branding. One thing that we are going to do, and I'm gonna put our technology group on it. We are going to do what we call a co-brand, and a co-brand is, do you see on the top of our NoCards right here? On the top of our NoCards, we actually have NoCard at the very top, right? But one thing we're going to do is we're going to put that dealership. We're going to put, even if it's GMC, Toyota, we could put their branding right at the top, and then it's going to all be powered by NoCard, which I think is going to be super cool for the dealership. So we're going to do custom branding, logo, and just so you guys understand, that's all on our side during setup. Okay. Smart link creation, smart form integration, Google review tools. Guys, this is all going to be falling back on you. We'll talk about a checklist. You guys don't fret about it. Don't take notes about it. It's going to be super easy. I'm going to give you just a checklist. Peter goes in, and guys, just to let you guys know, Peter Pitts is on the phone, one of Brett's guys. Absolutely super excited, going to handle certain territory. He wants to handle a 200-mile radius. And the bottom line is, he's done this before. He's sold these SaaS products directly from auto dealerships and things like that. And what's super powerful is he knows how easy this is and how fast we can get signed up. So the whole idea is we're really believing that we can do this in a 1 to 2 call close, maximum 2 call close, is get them in, show it to them, and then go there and basically go through setup. We're also going to just give you that digital document potentially, and you guys can write stuff down if you want, but we're going to give you that document that just goes through everything that you need to collect from them. And when you leave, literally it's going to be within a couple days, you guys can go back and deliver it. We'll talk about that. That's all going to be super simple. We're going to do it through videos. It'll be professional, and you guys are gonna love it. It's very easy. So we're going to take a lot of that stress off you, so you can stand in front of a sales team. Hey everyone, my name is Brett Carey. I'm an authorized agent right here with NoCard. I'm the guy that you're going to see around the dealership. You're going to see my face. I'm going to stop by. I'm here to help you. Guys, this is an amazing tool. I love this tool because I know you guys want to go out there and support your families. We're going to help you guys sell more cars. Is anyone in the room against selling more cars? No. Oh man, Brett's the hero, right? So we want to make it a fun thing. To corporate, to the dealership, yes, to a certain degree, it's Big Brother. We're going to talk about a lot of the benefits through our presentation on Thursday, because I'm going to show you a presentation. I'm going to show you guys that you're going to give to the dealerships on Thursday. You guys can walk them through. Guys, one of the big benefits is we're going to weed people out that aren't working, okay? And we haven't really got into that. We're talking about ROI and selling cars. But let me tell you something. A big cost of the dealership is overhead. And when you have a dud that hasn't sold anything or is really just shadowing and just taking a base salary from the dealership, we're going to move him out fast because NoCard's going to put a serious spotlight. This individual isn't doing anything. So we'll talk more about that. Media upload, real-time lead tracking, all the things that NoCard does. License users, how many users? So if they're doing a 25 or 50 account, User's going to receive branded accounts synced with our master account, guys. That's super important because all of those are synced directly into the owner's dashboard here, that master account. Let me see here, blah, blah, blah. Individuals, users may not upload their own media. This is going to be super important because right here under this license, we want to make sure that people understand whatever the dealership loads is what you're going to see on that smart link. Okay. We are not allowing users to upload media, photos, videos, any of that stuff, unless there's an additional charge and it's approved by the dealership. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Maybe they have a couple guys that they do want that. I'm not a fan of that. Let's keep it simple. But I'm just saying they need to understand that none of that stuff is being added. Onboarding and setup. Okay. This is all brand consultants position here, setting everything up. Ongoing services. Okay. We're going to talk about ongoing service. You're going to have a dedicated enterprise account manager, which is a brand consultant. We're going to do monthly check-ins. We're going to talk about that. We're going to make it fun. We're going to do it like a pharmaceutical rep. Come there, throw some no-card pens on their desks. Let's give them some bagels, guys. I'm going to have a budget that's set aside. Brett comes out and says, hey, Rob, I got an account I'm going to go out to. You mind if let's give them some bagels. Let's do this. Now, Brett's going to make a lot of money. So Brett's going to do whatever Brett's going to do because Brett also wants to get the other 4 dealerships that guy owns. Okay. So there's some huge upside to this whole thing, but we want to manage it and we need to make sure that you guys understand you guys are making a lot of money residual on these accounts. Let's just talk about the residual. Even on a $1,500 deal at 25%, folks, you guys are making $375 plus you guys are making an upfront setup fee of, depending on our merchant, we're going to talk about that. Our merchant account can pay for you guys. We have some brand new people on the phone. The guys on the phone that don't have the merchant accounts, we're going to get you guys your merchant accounts directly from corporate. You guys don't have to worry about that. It's going to be an easy transaction. We're going to pay 75% of all the setup fees going to go directly to you. So let me just give you an example. If you guys sell a $1,500 deal, you guys are basically walking with $1,500. I'm going to pay you 75% of the setup fee. And then on top of that, you're making 25% of the monthly. So right out of the gate, you guys are making you're making $1,500. The cool thing about it is if you guys sell it today, which is Tuesday, you guys would get paid next Tuesday or next Friday on that setup fee. So the beautiful thing is we're going to set payroll up. Kathy is going to hate me, but we're going to do payroll every week. And the reason we're going to do payroll every week is because we need to get you guys money and we need to get you guys money fast. So guys, just think about it. You're going to see how easy this is. I'm telling you, I'm setting up a presentation that is a visual no-brainer, and get excited. Visual no-brainer. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sign up. That's it. It's going to be as simple as that. Okay. The other thing that we're going to do is make sure that we stay in our own lane. We're not getting involved. We're not going to get out in the weeds. We're not getting into details with crap. We're just going to we are a data aggregator. All this stuff comes in from SmartLink. We report, we export, we help you increase your sales. Let's just keep it super simple. We'll sell a ton of them. Okay. Subscription options, what their subscription rates are. Guys, and Brett and I have talked about this specifically. We really believe that this is not going to stay at $1,500. Matter of fact, just so you guys know, Brett is the one who really encouraged me to increase this price, something fierce, and said, Rob, get away from these lower price deals. And praise Jesus, because I really think that was a smart move. I actually think that we're going to move it as high as $2,500, probably within the next 90 days. I want to get probably a solid 50 dealerships underneath us. And guess what? When we move it up to $2,500 and you guys are making 25% of that, now you guys are making, Brett, what was it? 6 something? 5 something? What was that?
Which one?
If they're at the 25, at 25% of $2,500.
Yes, it's 675 because it's a lot. That's why it's a whole lot better than your first price last week of $300, $399 setup. It's crazy, but
yeah.
Peter, he's coming on board. He's been 10 years selling to dealerships with ADP, and he was selling stuff with $1.2 million for one dealership. He goes to charge these guys $1,500. It's not a lot.
Peter was going to laugh us off the call when we told him $1,500.
No, you're just going to tell them it's an introductory price. You're a charter member. As long as you keep the contracts going, you're locked into here forever. It's going to go to 25. That probably should be on the sheet there somewhere also, Rob. 2,500 with a red line stop right through it saying introductory price, $1,500 per month with a 6-month
So what we
contract.
should probably do is put that on our pricing page, right? You're saying on the pricing.
Yeah, just put like a red line through it. Say introductory price, 2025.
Yeah, perfect. We're really excited about that. I'm telling you, I really believe that we can just get this up to 2,500. The beautiful thing is, even where it's at right now, guys, just think about it. You guys do one sale a week. You guys are going to walk with approximately 6,000 plus another $1,400 or close to $1,400 on month number one. Okay, that's insane. And you guys have to understand, you guys get consistent residual month after month. So if you do it again, now you guys are up to $2,800 residual, walk with another $6,000. It's going to get crazy. The money is going to get wild when you start adding up the numbers of what this whole thing looks like. But in our contract, you got a 6-month agreement. They're going to pay up front on the 6-month agreement, or they're going to do a month to month. So we have it there. Billing, it's going to go through the way the billing structure is going to work. 50% total subscription cost due at signing. So once they sign the agreement, and then the remaining is upon delivery and activation of the No-Card enterprise system. We'll have that all on our initial agreement. They're not going to have to sign again. Okay. They're just going to sign. And then once we deliver it, we walk out, we'll just bill it again. Okay. System access is granted only after full initial payment is received. So we need to make sure that the beautiful thing about us is we're a SaaS product. And when we're showing them 2,000 and 3,000 leads, that equates out to 80, 90, 100 some $1,000. I think they're going to always want to pay us that $1,500, that $2,500, right? So they don't want to get shut off. Reoccurring billing, let's just give an example. If they start on the 10th, billing will continue on the 10th of each month. Payments accepted, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, ACH billing transfer, which I love. I think don't you think, Brett, isn't that what we talked to Peter about? That's probably going to be, a lot of them are going to do just ACH probably, right?
Once you get through the friction of the first time, if it's recurring, they don't think about it, because now we're coming back every month and saying, hey, we sold 80 cars last month. Your average gross is $2,000, so it made you 160 grand. That's a pretty good program, isn't it? Even if we charge $5,000 at that point, we're making them 150 grand.
Exactly. So really excited about that. Customer must complete and submit their no-card billing, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. We can always alter this, but this is pretty standard. If the charge fails, customer has 5 calendar days. We can update the payment, guys. This is really where you guys are going to be heavily involved. Corporate can definitely reach out. We don't want payments dragging out there. We have a lot of users. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of billing that happens. We don't want them dragging. 10% late fee will be added to any invoice that isn't paid. This is actually supposed to be after 14. Payment isn't done within 14 days. Platform will be suspended. We'll talk a little bit more about that, just so you guys understand. None of those are hard-coded into our system. We don't want to start off on a negative thing, but we also don't want to be bill collectors either. That's just the bottom line. Sometimes you have some language in there that just is enough to scare them away, right? Reactivation, that's a whole nother thing. If we have to reactivate the account, termination and default. The good thing about a 6-month agreement is this is a SaaS product. We can go out after our money, but the beautiful thing is we want you, and we're going to talk a little bit more about commissions, of how commissions are paid when someone pays upfront 6 months, because we at corporate need to make sure that you are doing your job. Last thing we need to do is find out, for example, Brett's gonna help head up some of the sales guys. And at the end of the day, we don't want to be calling Brett and say, Brett, John's gone, and we got to bring someone else in to manage over this account. We already paid John 6 months up front. Okay. The other thing that's super important is confidentiality and non-disclosure. Okay. Listen, we're going to put some language in these agreements, which is very common under SaaS product. This is not what we call a non-compete, which is super important. There's 3 agreements out there. One of them is called a non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure agreement means that they're in our back office. They see exactly what we're doing. You don't have to be a programmer and see code. They're privy to seeing information, so they all sign non-disclosures. But the one thing that they will do is not sign a non-compete. That really doesn't come into play here. But what does come into play is what we call a non-circumvent. Okay, and a non-circumvent just basically means that they can't retool our works. Maybe they're working with a CRM, and the CRM goes, hey, you know what? I think I can probably add some of this functionality right into your CRM. You don't even need those guys. Let me tell you something, that's going to be detrimental. These dealerships are collectible. And when you have a SaaS product at this level, generating this revenue, trust me, we will file cease and desist, and we will go after, do whatever we need to do. But let's just start it off sometimes just by putting up that, right, Peter, right? Putting up that ADP, putting up that, I call ADT, that's a security system, the ADT sign outside of my home. Sometimes that's just enough where the guy just flies by to the next house. You don't want to mess with us. So we want to put non-circumvent agreements in here also, which is here it is right here. Smart link usage and content control. That's obviously done at the dealership's level. Sales reps restrictions, what they can do, what they can't. Optional upgrades. We don't really have so much upgrades, but it is there if we do any type of optional upgrades, especially if someone wants to add content. And just so you guys also understand, as we start to grow, and if the dealership starts to grow, it's very positive because they can then upgrade their accounts. So maybe the guy has 3 different dealerships and we have 3 different accounts at 25, 25, and 25. So he may have a dealership that's got, hey, I got 38 guys on this lot. Well, guess what? He's going to be at a higher level. The other thing I just want to let everyone know is if anyone hits any account that has over 50 reps, please make sure you reach out to us so we can give proper pricing. Guys, I want you guys to get excited because this is just one vertical. That's all this is. This is just one vertical here. We're going to set some general verticals up. Brett knows companies like, what is it, Brett? Samsung that's got how many employees over there?
It's thousands, but it would have to be a different type of product than this, but it's
Thousands.
a different, yeah, it's thousands.
So
It's insurance agencies with thousands of people. They're all
yes,
different.
so that's huge. Joseph Brown is on the phone. Joseph, I know you are tied into the insurance world heavily also. You have you're over multiple offices over there and different agents. We'll talk a little bit more about this because this is that No Card Enterprise product that you and I have been talking about in the past that gives full control. We can completely see everything. No Card Enterprise is fully optional or operational, ready to go. So this is just some basic intellectual property, limit of liability, governing entire agreement and signature. So we don't want to get too crazy with it, but we do need some wording in here. This is a high level here, but it does have some wording in here that we can breeze by. The nice thing is you're just going to send it to them. They're going to auto sign it. You auto sign it. They get a copy. We get a copy, and we're good to go. This is all we really need just to protect us and the merchant. And that's really all we have on that. The other thing I just wanted to briefly touch on is one thing I'm a huge component and a huge fan of is making sure that we look professional. Okay. Now, I would love to get everyone just a shirt. I don't know if you guys want to wear it. Like I can see Brett in my monitor here, like a polo shirt like that. Black is really nice. Just a little three button polo shirt. We have the No Card logo on it with the smiley face on your sleeve, something like that. We do have the ability to get some shirts for you guys. I spoke with Ed's on the call right now. Ed's one of our new reps. Also, Ed's out of Indiana. So guys, here's the thing. Definitely want to get you guys some shirts. If you guys can just shoot me your sizes of what shirt, we're going to start off with 1 or 2 shirts, probably black or white. Okay. So anyone that is on our system. And again, guys, this is why we charge that $129. I'm charging $129 for the position because I want some skin in the game. And there's some reoccurring cost that's going to be constantly on top of this system here. Okay. There's a massive opportunity, a massive amount of money that you guys can make on here, but we will provide tools. You guys will email. Same thing with Zoho. We're not really sure. Zoho, DocuSign, blah, blah, blah. You guys are going to be part of our master account. So you guys can log in on the tablet and blast off contracts immediately. We'll make sure all that stuff is set up by Friday this week. So emails will be up and moving. I'd like to get your shirts done potentially this week and ship from Michigan. And yeah, so emails, shirts, auto signatures. Guys, I'm just a huge fan. I got everything into this business. My hands are all over this. My fingerprints are all over this thing. I'm a freak when it comes to professionalism. You guys need to know the product and we need to represent the product the proper way. I just want to let you guys know I'm working on that. Get excited for Thursday because on Thursday, guys, I'm going to actually give you guys the actual presentation of kind of what I think that we should present with. Super easy. That's what I'm really focusing on. Kathy's working on some feature videos. So we're going to be loading stuff in the back office. Kathy, maybe you could take maybe 20 minutes. We can go through some of the back office stuff potentially on Thursday. If there's anything that we need to go through on back office, we need to make sure these guys are heavily trained. If not, guys, not a big deal. We're just going to go ahead and send you guys stuff through the No Card. Guys, when you guys get the agreement, it's super important that you guys understand the agreement that Kathy is sending to your email has non-disclosure and non-circumvent or non-disclosure and non-competes in there. We need all these agreements signed. We need our brand consultant agreement signed, understanding what your position is. And inside that also, there's a Stripe. Kathy, what is there? A Stripe link in that email? Is that correct? Yeah. There's a Stripe link in there. Make sure you guys check that out so we can activate and turn everything on. Just so you guys are clear, that actually is connected to our system. That Stripe payment link right there of that $129 is actually tagged into our system. That triggers our compensation. And everything is hard coded behind the scenes on that. So please make sure you guys pay the $129 and get activated ASAP and provide all the information. I know I spoke with Ed today about his W-9. Please make sure You guys get those W-9s, whatever information Kathy's looking for. We cannot pay this kind of money out without making sure you guys have your W-9. Kathy, that's all automated on the back end, correct?
Yeah, that goes out with the NDA and the agreement that they have to sign.
Okay, cool. So guys, just stay up on top of it. If you guys need anything, please reach out. I got to tell you, it's frustrating right now. I'm in the transition of going from my CEO account to founder. If you guys need me, you guys can always reach me directly on NoCard and just search out CEO. Tag me on your favorites so you can always message me. But I usually always have my CEO on. I have my notifications on. You guys can always ping me there. Okay, so hit me up. I know that Brett and Tim have done that. And guys, we have some huge opportunity right now. We're just going through the vertical of auto. Okay, there's huge opportunity. We have Tim on the line right now. Tim is a huge leader in the networking space. Is going to help us head some of that stuff up. He is super excited. He's got incredible contacts in the industry, and he has hit super powerful levels in that position in that industry. And guys, I just want to let you guys know, you guys can see the money here. But how about sitting on top of a company that's got 700,000 people on it, and we bring on 25,000 people within 90 days? And how about getting a piece of that action? I'm just telling you, the networking space is going to be massive. And Timmy can tell you, he's seeing this thing and he's saying he's blown away. Rob, no one in the industry has this. And that's the powerful thing. That's what's the low-lying fruit right now for you guys. Nobody has this in the auto industry. Okay, nobody has this thing. So you guys have a huge upper hand right now to go out there and slay dragons and make a lot of money on the low-lying fruit. And we're also going to find the low-lying fruit of some of those other small businesses. Like we talked about solar, man. I was talking to Brian Root today. I think it was Brian. And Brian's like, yeah, I know some people in the solar business also. Okay, these guys have sometimes 50, 60, 100 employees. We can very easily bring them on. We can very easily track, and we can very easily get deals. Let me tell you something. Those solar deals are worth a lot of money. So they will totally pay $1,500 to bring on some more solar deals. So guys, the possibilities are endless with NoCard. We're super excited you guys are here. We love doing these calls because, listen, we're going to change lives with this. And I promise you, we're almost to the finish line. We're going to keep doing training. We're going to always do training. I want to make sure you guys understand the product. But honestly, my goal, and Brett, with you, as early as this next week on Monday, Tuesday, whatever, for you to start hitting the ground. We're going to talk a little bit more. I do have some other people that are going to be coming on board that I'd like Brett to at least have some conversations. I'd like someone to help manage over you. Brett and I are having those conversations if he wants to play that role. But the bottom line is we believe that you have a huge opportunity, but I don't want this to be loosey-goosey. We need some structure here because I got to tell you, we're only looking for a select few to truly work with. This is not about flood the floor with 5,000 reps. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a dedicated sales team that can be managed, that can help grow our brand and get this out in a huge way. And my job, our job as a team, is how do we literally affect families that are actually doing this? I look at you guys and I say, there's no reason that you guys can't get up to a consistent $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month with this opportunity, which becomes $250,000 a year. Guys, I'm telling you, you have the SaaS product in your hand, fully digital. And I believe it's one of the best products out there, hands down. We just got to show the world. Please understand, my head is down. So if there's a little bit of time, you guys can always text me also. But I'm always around, and let's get this thing rock and rolling. Kathy, you got anything before we bounce here?
I don't. That was a great call, and looking forward to Thursday night.
All right, awesome. You guys have an amazing night. Rendezvous again. We will send out another notification. Please make sure you guys are paying close attention to those group. As soon as I start transitioning over, I'm going to start bugging the hell out of you guys, probably on the group message. And that's really why we have it. We have it so we can all communicate back and forth. Please understand that you guys are on the enterprise platform. What does that mean? That means if you guys are asking a question, people can traditionally see what you're doing. The team can see what you are doing. So the bottom line is, when I'm sending something out like that, let's make sure that if you guys want something private to me, that you guys use your individual message. So guys, yeah, so we're going to be pinging you guys through that. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be an amazing communication portal for all of us. And we're going to, listen, when we start getting out there, we're start closing sales. We're going to start winning as a team. We're going to start sharing success stories. It's going to be amazing and fun, and we're ready for the journey. So guys, be blessed. Have an amazing night, and we will rendezvous over the next 48 hours. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Good night.